Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello students. Today I would like to discuss the assignment I gave to you last week. It was about the translation of emotional self-disclosure scale, and the knowledge you should apply here is the knowledge about the equivalence at what level. Yeah. So before we go further, I would like to explain to you that the scale is an instrument to collect the data in a research. So when you are conducting a research, you can collect the data from instruments. One of ways to have this instrument is by doing adaptation, yeah, or it is called as adopted instrument. So here the adopted instrument, yeah, must be translated into Indonesian and then retranslated again into English. So it is called as back translation. So two times translation processes. Yeah, and there are 40 statement items which begin with the same phrase. Yeah, times when you felt until 40, and the different things are on the ending. Yeah, and okay, so let me give you some overview. Yeah, so the way when me myself when translating a text, I do this. So I split the window into two. The first one is on the right side while another is on the left side. So here, yeah, like this, it will facilitate me. Yeah, it will make me easy to compare what I translate, yeah, when what the source language gives me. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the first word. This one is times. Yeah, times when you. Here you know that times, yeah, it has as ending. Yeah, since it has as ending, it means that this noun is countable. Ya, karena dia punya akhiran s, berarti noun ini, kata benda ini adalah yang countable, bisa dihitung. Nah, so here you must use dictionary, click time, write it down here, time, yeah, like what I did. And there are some definition of times, yeah, from minutes until drinking. So here you must decide which one gives you the countable definition. Like for example, this one, minutes. Now you can see the first symbol, the first code, yeah, inside the bracket it says u means uncountable. Yeah, so this is not what you look for. Yeah, minutes, days, years. No, this not this one. Next, able to do something. It has no codes of telling the noun whether it is countable or uncountable, so skip. Period. This one has s or u. S means singular or u uncountable, so not this one. Now this one particular point, it has c, s or u. C means countable or s singular or uncountable. So you can use this one or you may use this one. But let's discover other definitions. Suitable point? No, because s and u. Occasion, countable. Okay. Historical, countable also. Race, C, countable or uncountable. Yeah. Music, uncountable. Prison, no. Drinking, uncountable. So, race, let's check. Your time in a race is the number of minutes, hours, but this one is race balapan. Yeah. So this is not what we look for. Race sports. So it can be here, historical period, or occasion, or particular point. Actually, they share the same meaning. That is a condition. Yeah, number of condition. So here you can translate times into kali, ya, kali, atau saat, saat juga bisa. Ya, saat, saat-saat atau kali. Nah, tapi tidak usah terpaku ini s. terus ditulis saat-saat atau kali-kali, tidak perlu. Because of what? Because we translate this instrument based on the researchers' need. For example, the researchers want to investigate senior high school or junior high school students. So the language used in the scale must be adjusted to the need of or to the understanding of senior or junior high school. I mean not to be sophisticated, ya, jangan terlalu sulit dipahami. Nah, that's why here so do not use difficult words. For example, when SMP or SMA students are not familiar with kali, you can use saat. Ya, oke. When ketika, atau ya boleh you, Anda atau kamu, ya, kamu atau Anda. But if it is for junior high school, it is better to use kamu, ya, kamu. Oke. Times can be saat-saat or kali-kali atau kali. When ketika, saat-saat ketika, kali ketika. But these first three words are not really important, because the important thing is in the end of the sentences. Yeah, depressed, happy, jealous, anxious, angry. Now here, some of your friends translated into similar definition in Indonesian. For example, here I have highlighted some words having similar meaning. Here, let's say number 8 is similar to 16, 24, and 32. Let's check. 8, when you felt afraid, takut, ya. Number 16, ketakutan. 24, panik. 32, ngeri. Nah, takut, ketakutan, ngeri are almost the same. Let's check another to as the comparison. Yeah. Let's check 8. Fear, merasa takut. 16, fear. Fear lagi. Oh, enggak, ini afraid. Nah, salah nulis. Afraid, takut, fear, takut. 32. Apathy. Really? 32? Oh, fear lagi ini. Oh, no. Oh, scared. Oh, this one, the original. The in the middle column. And I guess this one is the synonym. I guess there's no need to use this one, synonym, but you only translate directly, ya, to Indonesian. No need to give the synonyms. 32, ya, merasa takut. Nah, here your friends share the same meanings of three words, ya, namely scared, and then frightened, and fearful, and then afraid. Nah, it will be confusing when junior or senior high school read this definition, because English actually, yeah, gives you broader meaning of one word. Yeah, for example, in Indonesian it is ketakutan, but in English, yeah, English words tend to give you specific or detailed description of the feeling itself. Now let's check this one. Afraid, yeah. Fret, fear, feeling fear or feeling worry about the possible results of a particular situation. Nah, ini fret, results of a particular situation. Kita cek, tulis di sini. And then 16, what does it tells us? Fearful, frightened, worry about something, yeah. Ini, ya. And then this one, apa lagi tadi? frightened aja. Feeling fear or worry. Lalu another one is scared ya kayaknya. Scared. Frightened or worried. Okay. And this one, yeah, we have 4 definitions of words: afraid, fearful, frightened, scared. Nah, they almost share the same definition, but as a translator, we must distinguish the situation. Yeah, for example, if you think these words have the same meaning in Indonesian, then yeah, and oh yeah, if you are afraid that these words have the same meaning in Indonesian, and then your client asks you to distinguish those words, then you can do this one. Just translate as what it is. Nah, for example, afraid. Afraid itu di sini kan sudah dijelaskan dia ketakutan karena hasil apa namanya suatu karena apa hasil yang diberikan suatu kondisi seumpama dia seorang siswa takut dimarahi ayahnya karena rapotnya jelek. Nah, itu afraid. Karena di sini ada keterangan of a particular situation. Nah, di sini. Lalu fearful, ya, worry about something. Nah, this one it shares degree, ya, degree. Dia punya apa persentase, mama fear, afraid, worry. Nah, itu kan ada tingkatan-tingkatannya. Atau scared. Nah, tapi mereka juga penggunaannya itu berbeda. Nah, di sini. Result of particular situation. Kalau fearful, worry about something, tentang sesuatu, dituliskan aja. Kalau Anda umpama, loh kok ini sama semua ya, pasti ada yang salah nih. Nah, tulis aja apa adanya. Ya, dia khawatir karena atau takut karena hasil oleh suatu hal. Fearful, khawatir mengkhawatirkan sesuatu. Ya, atau takut sesuatu akan terjadi, maksudnya gitu. Tapi sesuatunya itu tidak disebutkan. Nah, lalu kalau ini hasil ya, kalau ini hasil, kalau ini sesuatunya ya bukan terpaku pada hasil ya. Kalau frightened dan scared, feeling fear or worry, ya, feeling fear or worry, scared, frightened, or worry. Nah, ini ada 2 kata yang mirip nih. Nah, sekarang biar kita tidak bingung lagi, nah, coba kita buka di sini. Coba Oxford Dictionary online. Coba di sini ada frightened, scared. Afraid, feeling fear di sini. Kalau frightened. Terus kalau scared. Nah, kalau kita bingung, kita lihat contohnya di sini biar tambah detail. I'm frightened of walking home alone in the dark. Nah, dia ketakutan berjalan sendiri di tempat yang gelap. I was nervous and frightened about the future. Saya takut mengkhawatirkan masa depan. Nah, ini kita bisa artikan sebagai ketakutan di sini. Kalau I'm frightened ini ketakutan. Ya. Terus di sini scared. Frightened of something or afraid that something bad might happen. Nah, kalau scared dia lebih ke ketakutan akan sesuatu. Sama kayak tadi jalan sendirian di tempat gelap. Nah, itu lebih ke scared. Nah, kalau frightened tadi bisa diartikan sebagai takut akan sesuatu aja. Nah, jadi scared ini kan lebih detail ya, karena dia memberikan dia khawatir sesuatu yang buruk akan terjadi. Nah, kalau yang tadi, yang frightened di sini tidak disebutkan secara spesifik, jadi takut aja gitu. Ya. Jadi kalau bingung, Frightened di sini bisa diartikan ketakutan. Kalau scared di sini takut akan sesuatu buruk yang mungkin terjadi. Nah, sedangkan di sini fearful mengkhawatirkan sesuatu. Kita cek di sini. Nah, that's why I ask you to use more than one dictionary. So that they will give you different perspective. Nervous or afraid. Nah, lebih ke khawatir di sini. Ini formal ya. Kalau yang tadi satunya particular situation, dia mengkhawatirkan situasi tertentu yang bukan maksudnya dalam ranah ketakutan kayak akan apa mungkin hantu atau pembunuh, bukan di sini. Tapi lebih ke entah dimarahi, entah di ejek-ejek, entah diberikan perlakuan yang buruk. Nah, itu. Nah, you might be hurt or suffer. Nah, di sini beda lagi. Nah, ini kan lebih ke hurt or suffer ya, atau dilukai gitu ya. Nah, di sini. Nah, kita tahu di sini bahwa ternyata kamus Oxford dan Cambridge itu berbeda definisinya. Nah, namun di sini ada sesuatu yang bisa kita simpulkan dari sini, yaitu kalau kita ketemu ke word translation yang pertama, ya, when you find similar definition of words, ya, and afraid of, afraid of not being able to distinguish the meaning in Indonesian, just translate the complete definition provided in a dictionary. Nah, itu yang pertama. 2. When you have consulted all words but are still confused due to its similar definition in a dictionary, ya, try to consult with other dictionaries. Nah, seperti yang saya lakukan tadi. Cambridge tadi fearful sama scared mirip, kita cari di Oxford begitu. Nah, number 3 ini. Nah, kalau ternyata when for example 2 or 3 dictionary confuse you, nah ini kan membingungkan semua ya. Oxford sama Cambridge kok membingungkan. Afraid di Cambridge tadi karena sesuatu dia takut karena sesuatu kejadian. Lah ini ke afraid tiba-tiba kaitannya sama hurt or suffer, terluka gitu. Nah, kita pilih salah satu aja ya. We choose one as long as the similar words are translated using different meaning into Indonesia. Nah, gitu caranya. Ya. Kalau ini kebingungan, dua ini kok berbeda. Nah, kita yang penting bisa menerjemahkan mereka agar beda. Pas diterjemahkan ke Indonesianya begitu. Ya. Nah, hal ini juga berlaku tadi saya notice nomor 13 kayak 21 sama 37 di sini. Kalau yang lain kan mudah ya. Yang penting yang membuat Anda pusing pasti kan yang mirip-mirip itu. 13 infuriated sama 21 irritated. Nah, kita cek punya teman. 13 geram ya, geram. Jengkel. Nah, geram jengkel ini kan mirip-mirip sama 37. Murka, geram jengkel murka. Nah, ini sudah berbeda. Nah, ini baik ya. Coba di sini 13 marah. Berapa lagi? jengkel, ya, marah, jengkel. 37 marah. Nah, ketemu mirip lagi. Maka strategi yang kita lakukan adalah bisa seperti yang tadi. Nah, ini kan tidak ada di buku ya. Makanya saya minta Anda menerjemahkan yang ini untuk pengetahuan tambahan tentang penggunaan kamus dan ketika mengalami kebingungan menerjemahkan kata-kata yang mirip artinya dalam bahasa Indonesia. Gitu. Oke, silakan bisa diaplikasikan knowledge-nya ke kata-kata yang lain yang Anda rasa mirip, ya. Dan silakan nilai sendiri kira-kira Anda pantasnya dapat berapa. Nah, okay, I guess that's all the discussion of the last week's assignment. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I hope you get something from this. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.